So, it was beautiful to have you all in these 2 days deliberations on the Veda. It's a very, very basic introduction to the Veda. And it's necessary that we know the fundamentals of the Vedic vision, the Vedic ideals, and the importance of the key words, the importance of the Vedic vision of the Rishis, the Rishi Parampara. So then it prepares us to dive deep into the Vedic literature. That's what was in my mind in curating this or in conceiving this 2 days workshop. So we started with self-introduction where each one of you expressed your aspiration, and then we moved forward having introduction to the Veda, the deities, the symbolism, and some of the suktas. We saw the important suktas, again a very basic introduction, because each sukta one can contemplate on it for a full day just to understand the deeper depth of the mantras and then what it is there. And sometimes one mantra, there are people who have interpreted it, hundreds of pages have written books on one concept. The Ritam itself is a very big concept. Veda itself is a very big concept. Satyam itself is a big concept. Agni itself is a big concept. Indra itself is a big concept. So that's why maybe like it is called the Akhila Jnana Mulam or Akhila Dharma Mulam. Anyway, so to conclude this, anyway, I'll give you a concluding remark at the end. But this session, so what has been your journey, with what aspiration you came, and then after attending this, like what was your experience, and did it help you? What it did to your consciousness, your understanding. So we can have a sharing session, we can have a feedback session, and then we'll do concluding remark. And then if any suggestion, any feedback, anything that you would like to know more, so then a future workshop, something like this can be again worked out. So keeping this in mind, so we will have a sharing and feedback session. So the mic can be given to. So first give to Bhargavi.
I had thought it will be a session that, because it's a session that gives an insight into what is the structure of the Vedas, or what are some of the key concepts, the key principles. So I thought it will give me a very quick crash course into understanding the Vedas, and then I can delve deeper. But what I got in the last 2 days, yesterday and today, some of the concepts that, especially today morning, the Angirasa story, the Rishi and the cow, and what is the metaphor. So I realized that not only that it gave a very good insight on the fact that you should not read some of these things literally. You should look at the metaphors, the hidden meanings, the various interpretations that the same root word can give you, and how to identify some of the key concepts which are relevant to you in your life. So for me, what is relevant in Angirasa story stood out very much. The later sukta, the Purusha and the Nasadiya sukta, with respect, I had listened to a lot of Vedanta lectures earlier before I came here, and every time the consciousness was you are one, you are Brahman, Atman is Brahman, there is only one consciousness, Advaita, all of that. But today, listening to how the Purusha sukta has kind of the creator of the Purusha has transformed himself or herself into small components across all of us, and we are all the element of the divine. It just brought home. So I think for me it was more of depth. I had thought I would get a general overview of the structure, very analytical, right? How many Vedas, how many slokas, how they are organized. But more than that, I think I got a lot of insight into how you should interpret some of these things. More importantly, how you should use it in your life. And what a big revelation today and yesterday also was on the different planes of your consciousness. So you think, okay, your mind is one, your body is one, and then there is Atma. That's how you think, right? Sharira, Mana, Atma. But now you realize Mana also has so many layers. And the intellect has so many layers, and the consciousness has so many layers. And there's just no end to how much you can delve into each of it. So very big learning for me. So I'm truly thankful all my travel, all the trouble I took to reach here from office and all of that, I think it is all worth it, and many more times. Looking forward to many such sessions.
Thank you.
Yeah, and yeah.
For me, this was really a yajna. It's a journey, a path towards finding the true meaning of what the Vedas, at least in its initial conception, so that I can have a better framework. You start off with a wrong framework in your mind, a colonized framework, very likely you'll end up in hell. But this one, I think it basically brought me closer to our Indic civilization and the richness of it. And so I'm thankful to you, Sampath, for being the pujari for this yajna that I took.
Okay, so the foreigners talking now. First of all, I came, as you know, just to kind of get a head start on what the Vedas were, and you went above and beyond that for me. Now, because I have a little bit of a language barrier, some of the terminology I was stuck on, but I wrote down the definitions. I love how you teach, you take, one definition and then you repeat it 3 different ways or more so that I know someone is able to grasp the definition of your words. So this definitely gave me a head start. A lot of, I would say more today resonated personally for me, in different aspects of my life, and just feel like I'm on the right track. So I appreciate you letting us join me on this workshop.
I came here thinking that we will be looking at the map of the Vedas, and I brought my book also yesterday, The Secret of the Vedas by Sri Aurobindo. However, I feel what I was asking was too less than what I have got, I feel, in the workshop. The kind of understanding that comes through how you explain with stories and with your in-depth knowledge, which I feel really grateful that you share so exclusively, without any holding back. Especially how, after coming here, I feel that there's so much of expansion that one can have and one needs to have in life in order to have more and more subtle consciousness and way of living, which I feel in the normal way of life, it is opposite. In normal way of life, I feel it is more and more that we need to take less space and do everything compact and quick. And to be able to connect to this vastness, I think, is a huge gift, a huge reminder, a good reminder. To also look at worship to any deity as imbibing the quality of that deity, that was also very deep understanding, I feel. And resonating with the inner truth. So whatever I heard, I don't feel it's something new. It's something which is what we all know, but are not able to articulate. And in that, I would like to say that the realizations of Vedic Rishis, the 4 main realizations, I think these kind of basic structures also, along with all the rest that we got, will help us to take our own path and our own study towards Vedas, and I'm very grateful. And yes, like she said, we are grateful and happy to be here and learned a lot.
So, after Sampathji moving to Vishnu University, we were missing him here at Pandit. So, Durgaji and Chitraji took this initiative. I'm very much grateful to them for this initiative. And Sampathji's time also suited. So, we are here together. Now, what next? From here, how to keep up the flame and how to put all ourselves in that flame, and the yajna, for the continuous yajna, how we are going to take it forward. That is a question that is standing in the forefront. So what we can do, how we can do, so that we can continue to feed us. Somebody can help us in our journey. We will be having the continuous satsang. So, my aspiration is to take it further. How we can do, what we can do. So, I think we have to think about and act upon. It's very much enriching. We always, as I said, no, but this means for a person who is only longing for some just meal, 1-2 slices of the bread, if he is getting a feast, so it is like this. It is always like this. And as we take the feast, no, our hunger again, the longing for that feast also grows. That is our experience with Sampaji. Hope we will get more and more feasts like this. Thank you. Thank you for the giving grace.
Bhagavan
Thank you for the giving
recovered the
grace.
Veda in his fish avatar.
Thank you for the giving grace which has made this possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sampaji, Subhalji, for giving me this opportunity to attend to this course. You told to keep the divine and always constantly a companion. That point was very much important. Whatever the knowledge you gain through reading Veda, Upanishad, everything, whatever it is. But ultimately what you have to do is to keep the divine constantly a companion. So that point I like very much. So to keep that in that way, you have told certain methods also, but practically how it can be implemented. You may throw some light on that. And you spoke about Purusha Sukta, but why you have not touched upon Narayana Sukta and Vishnu Sukta? Is there any particular reason for that?
No, nothing. So I saw the Rishi of Purusha Sukta is Narayana himself.
But Suktas are there now, sir. Vishnu Sukta is different Sukta.
Next workshop
Narayana
will
Sukta and
take
Vishnu Sukta is there.
Next workshop will take over.
And Sri Suktam is there, Dukkha Suktam
Yes.
is there. So these are the normally we used to recite these things at home. So after the Sri Rudra, we normally recite Purusha Suktam, Narayana Suktam, Vishnu Suktam, Sri Suktam and Rudra Suktam, and of course Veda Suktam also. You have not given a few glimpses on these things, this Narayana Suktam and Vishnu Suktam. Anyway, whatever it is, it was a very good thing to attend this course, and it was very much useful to us. Rather, this point again I wanted to tell you, keep divine as constant companion. So in that you can throw some other light, some more light, if it is possible. Of course, it is in our own capacity we can do whatever we can do. But again, to have to implement that. What are the best ways if you can tell us, that will be very good, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
I'm so happy and thankful to be a part of this session. And when I came here, I had a very rough idea about the Vedas. I did not have, my knowledge was not in depth or concrete, but I knew few mantras, Sankachadvam, as well as Atman, Mokshatvam, Jagathidacha, which was my motto, but not knowing in depth about the intricacies. But now that I have attended this workshop for the past 2 days, I know about Agni and Indra and why we worship them, and what is the significance, the relevance to control our actions, our mind. And in fact, it's a lot of information for me. I need to keep it like my smriti, as well as whatever I've heard shruti in my smriti, so that I can put into practice all what I have learned. And I'm just overwhelmed. I have no words to express my gratitude, and I look forward to having more such sessions with you. Thank you.
When I came over here, I had no idea about we hear about the word Veda, but the depth of this Veda, after coming here at this place, I came to know. And even the way you explain that each alphabet has meaning, so that was really wonderful. As some of them have really wonderfully explained, that each word, the way you explained, gave a vast explanation wherein we shouldn't stop at that moment hearing that okay, this is the literal meaning of it. That's it. But the depth of it has a lot of meaning, and even the word that you explained yesterday about that Indra, Agni, the significance of Agni and Indra is nothing but Indriya and Nasan. That means whatever we do, everything is within us. So that part of it was really awakening, wherein it made me understand that yes, whenever we stand in front of God, when we surrender, it is invoking ourselves all those things, just remembering all of them and then surrendering ourselves. The surrendering part was also very much the way you explained was really wonderful. And there's a lot to learn. I think so. I have to learn, and I'm prepared to learn a lot. But since the session is winding up today, I feel a bit incomplete myself. But I look forward for many more sessions, and if possible, I'll be always ever ready to attend. Thank you so much for helping me participate in this program. I will thank the organizers. I will also thank Shruti for allowing me to participate in this and for giving me a chance. Thank you so much.
We have been attending Sampada's sessions very often. Some of us are a regular face and a feature in most of his programs. And I really feel happy that whenever we attend, even if we have attended the Veda sessions earlier, every time we learn many more new things. And that is why we keep on looking forward that when is the next session going to happen. So this is one thing that every time he brings in much more depth and many more new things added to the same subject. Second, the clarity of thought which he has is so good that even a novice can learn that the concepts very, and in the given short time he can give us so much, like it is like, oh, when will the next thing happen, and we really look forward to it. And I request all the organizers that they should not stop with this, but with a humble gratitude and a great request that please continue to keep on having such sessions more often. Thank you so much.
First of all, thank you very much, Sampaji, for including me here. And I just realized that I have missed out on so much by not looking into these for quite a few years now. And anything from you is special. Not just the Vedas, but any kind of knowledge from you is a privilege to receive. And I think we have all received more than we can take. So thank you very much.
So thank you so much, Sampada. I must say, you for the last 2 days, you were the light of this workshop and helped us dispel the darkness that we had and gave us that 2 days of Ananda. And there have been a lot of terms that I believe that we as a collective also understand very loosely. And those are very simple words, but still we don't have the deeper meaning, we don't know the deeper meaning and the deeper truths of those words. Like yesterday, I remember you mentioned to all of us about the essence of Brahmacharya, right? That is one of the words. Today you mentioned to us about what exactly the word Samaj means, right? So So all of these things may come out very loosely and we understand not holistically, but with your workshops, with your explanations, it becomes so easy to understand and go deep. And any word, irrespective of the ones that I've talked about, it gives us that much of clarity, thinking that okay, when we go next and think about the same thing, we know now there's a different way of looking at it. So thank you for that. I must say, so I'm someone who is very fascinated by Bhagavad Gita. So the way how you interlinked and related everything that we discussed by bringing in the right and relevant experts from the Bhagavad Gita, and not just that, the stories. I always feel that the stories always stay with you, and the kind of stories that you shared during the session, not just the learnings that we had, but still the characters are also important from those stories to remember. So that was another one. And of course, you answered all our queries so patiently without even saying no to any of the queries. And we kept on asking because we know you are the right person to ask these queries. When we look outside, there are very few people who can actually understand your query and answer the way you want it to be answered. And you are amongst those out. And like I was sharing this in the group, in the break session with somebody, that how blessed we are, because we all wonder how this evolution, the theory of evolution is coming into existence, what this world is all about. But in just I think 15 or 20 minutes of that segment, you helped us understand both the involution part of it and the evolution part of it so simply. And I think not many people have that kind of an explanation. So yeah, I feel very blessed to be part of this group and to have been a part of this workshop. And thank you for always being an inspiration.
Thank you so much, Sampath. You've been like the Indra who were drenching us with knowledge for the past 2 days. I think the biggest takeaway for me is, I learned that, I don't know if I'm saying it right, it says either way but right, I think, or it's now that we have to do it. Ihaiva, yes. I think that is the word that stayed with me the most, that it's now that we have to do whatever it is in the present, in the now, and take it away. And it's not something that is like to be kept obscure, keep it in your cupboard safely, buy as many books, but it's to be practiced, and it's in the now and it's present. Some of the things that you told are so profound, and I came here with the intention of, teaching my child moving forward. There are so many good stuff that I can take away from it. Thank you so much, and in the future, whichever you are, however we can help you, just love to be part of it.
Thank you, Sampath for the opportunity to attend. I came with similar aspirations as others to get a very broad overview of Veda, but I got to know the final aspects and also to understand the Vedic Mantras, the inner meaning, at least to explore and contemplate on, even if I don't understand immediately, at least try and, so some basic tools like about how to interpret Agni and Indra. So similarly, others also, whenever we hear or anything, we can at least introspect and try and understand and delve deeper into that aspect. Another thing that is what was the vision of our ancient rishis, the four names, that was a big takeaway, because I think that is a foundation on which this whole society, this whole civilization was based, and that was put across in a way that is easy to now understand and reflect upon. Another thing is the concept of yajna itself, and that it's not just something that we do, and but how we can have a yajna on a day-to-day basis to connect with the divinity. So the actual meaning of yajna, that is a big takeaway. So that is something that I can impact. Going forward, this is just we've scratched the tip of a big ocean. So how can we further this knowledge? If you can guide us, that would be great. And what we can do, and if there are any such next level courses, or next level some long term or anything, any text or any one sukta, if we can take and we can delve deeper onto this, that would be very helpful.
This 2 day session was just, I can't say much. It is just to my heart's desire. Everything was fine. But now I will concentrate on a few things because now the whole nation is in a mood of celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. In this context, today particularly you discussed about the first theme of the and the last theme of the Rig Veda. That is important. And what you told about what you mean by Samaja. So unless before that, let me tell you that I am neither skeptic nor pessimist. Yet I like to see things from practical perspective. So in that respect, I have noted down some historical facts. We have been celebrating, talking about Rishi Parampara of this Bharat, and our ancient Rishis, whom we have not seen nor known, not even heard, except discussed in lectures and books, etc., etc. But we are not lacking up in them, I mean Rishis, great Rishis, even in modern times, like Swami Vivekananda, Sri Aurobindo, Maharshi Raman, whose disciples were T.V. Kapali Sastri and Vasisthagana Gunputra, and so many others. So I have noted down some facts. This is relevant for on the occasion. T.V. Kapali Sastri wrote on the eve of Sri Aurobindo's birthday in 1945. He noted down out of his experience and whatever he has learned from his life in association with Master. He writes, in context of Sri Aurobindo's birthday in 1945, this is almost like Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, etc. Just a little bit different. But it is in modern context as relevant. He writes, political freedom is inevitable. Economic emancipation is sure to accompany or follow. As a consequence, India is sure to grow strong. That we are seeing now. But what is the next step? What will strong India do? Is she to repeat what all strong nations have done or are doing? No, she shall not. Let us hope she will not. India with a true and renewed spirituality is an asset for mankind and the hope of the future. And he's telling our in a small passage, he's telling the whole dream, what we dream about this nation and this humanity at large. Because we are doing sadhana of Satyam Ritam Brihat. Brihat includes not only India but the whole world. So this is very telling. This passage is very telling. Now, in this context, I have read from your old post about Ganapati Muni. How he went to, it can be taken as in the modern context. He went to Navadvip in some Hari Sabha to attend some debate, etc., where learned people from all over India participated, and that was in Sanskrit language itself. And he, at the age of 22, so young age, he impressed the audience and head of the Hari Sabha so much that many of the participants recommended for his giving him award of Kavya Kanta. The whole thing is well known to you, better than me. So, and from that place, Prabodha, recently, recently not even today, one MP who is representing the people of her place, Navadvip, name, I'm very much ashamed to tell the name her, because she is a shame on the name of woman, not only humanity, but woman. So should I tell her, reveal her name? I think,
Yeah,
no, she has saved her as a nation. And this is the contrast. I don't understand what is the lesson we have learned from ancient Rishi and even modern Rishi, today's who are living today among us. And people like you and so many aspiring souls here, gathered here. This is something very puzzling to me. So, I don't know. So, I don't need to go in detail, further detail. So, you understand my point. I know my shortcomings. I cannot contribute much to evolve this, regenerate this nation like Swami Vivekananda did, Sri Aurobindo did, and you are doing, and others are trying to do. That is a fact of history, even not only old history, today's history. So I conclude with this, and thank you very much for whatever you have done with us and spoken to us for these 2 days. Thank you.
First, I would like to express my gratitude. It was a wonderful, enjoyable, and uplifting program. And many new things I have, new ideas I have got after that. So it was all nice. One thing is not nice, you are going away long distance. So I miss you a lot. So I would say bad, but it's not good. Now, a few points I would like to say that in the beginning itself, in the end, last two, the first two, the last two. Last two, it was the Aries, audiovisual, from beginning itself. And with some new terms are there, we are not familiar. They have to be, because the language of this talk, like the glossary or dictionary, we should know what we mean by these clearly. Is there English equivalent, Hindi or Sanskrit equivalent, and maybe a little more emphasis on that. Then we can understand better what you are talking. The language you don't know. And now about Veda and indirectly Sampadananda. It's interesting. What is the relevance of Veda to the modern, to us, contemporary society, to the world citizen? Vishwamana is there, yesterday Vishwamanava, at the Vedic Mantras. How is it relevant? How is it relevant? First, it's relevant. Where there is a narrative that Veda is Veda ritual and Upanishad Jnana. It's quite common narrative. Whereas in old, there no ritual was there. So first, no ritual, last, no Jnana, and deep Jnana. Beautiful Jnana. So it has to be hammered. This is the relevance for modern man. What's there? What is beauty of Veda? What is superiority? How great it is, without putting down other. But we say, this is Veda. We are proud of this. This is our culture, this is our heritage. These are the spaceship, these strengths of Vedic knowledge. And distinctive features of Veda and Sampadananda, and it is very important now, Sampadananda particularly. And so I think this is enough. People have said, once again, we'll miss you. If you can come back, please come back. If there is some, please come back.
Namaskaram, Sampadananda, Mishra. First of all, I would like to say thank you to my Guru for this opportunity to come here. And then Sri Aurobindo and then to Subhashi for organizing this, and Namaskarams to you for this beautiful session. It opened a whole new world. I have studied a little bit, but after attending, I see how much more is remaining to study. And like you said, Sapta Chatushtaya. So I think 4 points I can take out from what I understood. For me, practically one aspect is how you talked about like this Akshara Kosh, means how each word you have talked about root, the dhatu, the meaning, that makes all the mantras suddenly alive if we are able to understand the root words, and this is especially useful for us in our research we are doing in Vedic therapeutics. We are trying to find how this Sanskrit can become like a medium, just the dhwani of the sound as a therapy for children with special needs. So, and for that research is much further I have got. I have to study and understand. Maybe I will request your help when possible, when this from work is ongoing. Once it goes a little ahead, I will require your guidance at your time convenience, sir. So that was one thing which was very beautiful. Second is it has given a little bit more fodder to my madness of poetry. Today, just before coming here only, I composed a 24-line poem, but I have got written 14 pages of whatever I have listened. I don't know how many poems will come out of this, but I think they will keep coming. So that is a personal, what you can say, prayers maybe, I don't know if it's prayers, but I have to see that. The poem also, Rishi tradition, is basically on how you describe what should be the way. It's like in that also you have very nicely said that we have to take the step. If we choose, the choice is ours. Like, and the third thing, this was the second. Third is Namaskaram again for the beautiful integration of the philosophy of Mother and Sri Aurobindo and into this way. Very rare to see somebody who is a master of Vyakaran also, but not focusing on just the Vyakaran only and using the Vyakaran's real meaning and purpose. Probably this is what the ancient Rishis also wanted. And we have normally whenever mantra talking happens, like you said, some people say women are not supposed to even hear the mantras and they should not. We've had some bad experience also where people have got angry and agitated when we have tried to do some research because you are now introducing mantras to women and you are going against it, or you did not talk about, I was expecting when you said Uchcharan, I thought you will talk about Vashtri and the mistake, but you did not speak about that. Instead of the fear, that God, instead of the fear for God, again like Damliji says, Bhagwan Hamara Mitra, or God loving, and so many references to Gita, so many Upanishads, some which I have studied, many which I have not studied, but all of them in such a simple manner, and it is a absolutely mind-blowing experience, sir. If we were to look at the Gita only for light or to describe something, one shloka of the Gita comes to mind, which is if talking about Yoga Rudasya Taseva Shama Karanam Uchyate is probably how you have, it is the sign of an ascending yogi who has gone there, the Shama, and for what we can do because you have now introduced it. We cannot be taken to that place where what you have experienced after so many years and everything you have introduced the light. Probably the duty is on our side. So again, Arurukshor Munir Yogam Karma Karanam Uchyate is probably what we have to identify our duty because much has been told. Everything has been told probably in this short, maybe some would say that we could have touched more on certain points, some could not. But they say समझदार लोग इशारों से भी समझ जाते हैं, तो there is so many isharas have been given, and as I think one sir also told that companion, comrade, the divine as a constant companion, that is something which we have to try. Again, I'm sir very grateful. Thank you very much, sir. Namaskaram. Thank you.
I don't know who sponsored this. The person has done great Jnana Yajna. The person has sponsored this. And it's a great punya he has done, Yajna. So
Except one word
gratitude for Sampadananda, who has after I got retired, I'm from ashram school and all that. Childhood learned a little bit of Sanskrit from Pujaraji and Jagannathji, but never taken care of it in the real sense, as a student, one of the languages only. But after I came back after my retirement, I attended one of your Gita class in 2016, September, I even remember the date and time. You inspired me that are you reading essays on Gita? You keep each shloka, try to do it, and that day to this day, you are my inspiration and how to convey my gratitude. And what I wish or aspire is that if you can take any online session or anything, and I don't mind even sponsoring and doing it, for 2 books I am not struggling, I am aspiring and attempting. One is Secret on Veda, keeping the Rig Veda copy with the Hindi translation and Nighantu also, Sanskrit dictionary. And also hymns to mystic fire. And today, the hymn that I chant daily, since the age my father has introduced me, you have given me the etymology of it. I don't know how to thank you. May Mother show the light through you. That's it.
Really all thanks to Sampadananda because he agreed to give his time for his family, his time because he's not staying here, but still he agreed to give lecture to us. This is my second lecture for Veda. I always have too many questions. And this time also, I thought I will be able to clarify most, but this time many of the questions got answered. But still more questions will be accumulated for the next time possibly. So thank you very much for everything.
Thank you very much, Sampathi, for including me in this workshop. Each workshop that I have attended, you make it more interesting, you make it more simpler, even the toughest subject also, you make it more simpler and easy to understand. And this Veda workshop, Veda Prabodha also was one such kind. I have read the mother book a number of times, I could say, but never dared to touch the secret of Veda because Sri Aurobindo is always hard to understand. But these 2 days workshop made it a little more, brought little more courage in me so that as a homework of this workshop, I could go home and take that book and start reading it. Thank you very much. And as everyone said, we miss you. We want more and more workshops to be conducted by you. We want to learn more from you. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward for it.
Thank you, Sampathi, for adding me as one of the delegates for this workshop. And thank you for the organizers for this workshop. Mainly we were waiting for the workshop to attend, mainly of yours. I have not attended any other workshops. आपके सिवा और किसी का नहीं attend किया है. So, as you said in this Vedic delight, so my heart is delighted with this workshop and I take this light to home. Thank you.
Thank you to the sponsors and to Sampadananda for including me and giving this opportunity. And I think this workshop definitely is going to be complementing whatever little sadhana I'm trying to practice at the ashram. Because you somehow interwoven the writings of Sri Aurobindo and the mother into the Vedas, and it will help me understand my sadhana, the surrender, all these processes, samarpan, all that much better. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for providing me with this opportunity to be part of this workshop. See, for a beginner like me, there were many concepts that were that I take back. I really appreciated the structured way in which you broke down very complex subject. Like for example, how the Samhita, Aranyaka, Brahmana and the Upanishads map to the Varnashrama dharmas was something very, very appealing to me. Like, so when we hear about these terms, we get confused, but now I have a way to put them in the right perspective and really understand what each of these mean and what is the purpose of each of these. Right? Similarly, the different elements of consciousness, the Agni, Indra, Mitra, Varuna. So the Vedas are kind of seen as something religious and something that only you take to in your old age or something like that. But after yesterday's session, what became clear to me is the Vedas are a manual for living, right? I mean, they offer the complete solution to live every moment in your life in a very effective manner, and that's the point probably many of us haven't known. It's something that is their revelation to me. So it's all the more important to understand what the Vedas mean and try to apply them in our day-to-day life as much as possible. So that's been a big takeaway for me. And the way you laced your talk with metaphors and stories, for example, the story of the Zen master really appealed to me, like how he stood in the middle of the two mountains, stands with poise, So having that sense of poise in difficult situations, if I can apply that when I go back to work tomorrow, I would be successful, right? So that was very good, and of course, the story of the Angiras that we talked about in the morning, and how we are able to relate that with the knowledge of the elements of consciousness of Agni, that really drove home the point of that story and really makes us understand the deeper meaning of how to attain the ultimate. Right? And there are so many other such concepts, can go on which were very new to me. I mean, I have not seen the Vedas in the light that I have seen in the last 2 days. So thank you very much for that. And last but not the least, I think you have brought out the beauty of the Sanskrit language and the power of the language. Because every meaning, every single syllable has to be thought about, meditated, contemplated to its deeper meaning, and it really helps in understanding the deeper concepts that are embedded in the Vedas. So thank you for that. It has really aroused the curiosity within me to follow and understand the language, because that is the right instrument to understand the bigger concepts as well. Right? So thank you very much for all the different knowledge that you have shared with us, and would be very happy if I'll be included as part of any future sessions that you have. And last but not the least, thanks for organizing this, because I got to know and interact with a lot of people from various backgrounds, have made new friends, and I'm sure I will be benefited by this relationship with many of the people around me. Thank you very much for everything, and thank you very much.
I think next class, the glory and the beauty of such a language, maybe one class should be here. I know this much as minimum, just and you are very expert in that.
There is a beauty in talking last, because everybody has spoken whatever, every details have been spoken. And one thing common in all of us is a profound, deep respect and gratitude for it. This whole program will remain unfinished until unless we felicitate you and show our respect and deep gratitude for whatever you have done. In the Sanatan style, This is your Uttariya from your Shishyas to pay respect and gratitude. A small gift on behalf of us. This is a Mishra.
One question. Can the Veda can be chanted without the swara, like slokas? Like mantra?
This, the Swara Patan, Udatmanada Swarika, that's for the memorization, to keep it intact. But in Prayoga, you can have Ekasruti. That's what is the tradition prescribes. In the Prayoga, thank you. In the Prayoga, it can be Ekasruti. Ekasruti. We can avoid the swaras and then recite it. But one has to know the meaning of it. Many may not agree with me, the traditional orthodox Vedic Pandits, but this is what is there. Even Panini also supports this. So you can simply say Agnimile Purohitam Yajnesya Devam Vijam Hotaram Datmadhatama. No need to, Agnimile. So that has its own implication. So that's mostly for the memorization. So then because of the Swara system, so everything which has to be maintained intact, the meaning and the sounds, so it is put into a kind of framework. The Swara is a framework. So Veda for thousands of years, everywhere it is. But you can have Ekasruti.
The last hymns which you showed, those were our school time prayer songs. So we used to sing in our own tune, some Telugu songs, same tune. But we used to sing every day. Only when last time Vedic that lecture, I found that it is hard.
So some people say that Veda mantras should not be sung, but then what is Samaveda then? Samaveda also, like the same mantra, you are setting it into all the 7 swaras. Islam. Okay.
This one question, just because maybe it will be useful for others, I wanted to see if you can. See, when I try to just as a prose, same continuation of the same phrase, I just read it like prose or little with the those mantras. But when I go into some South Indian channels, they teach you, there are different people, they call it Ghana Patam. And when I go into Bharati Vidya Bhavan and Kashi Pandit, they saw Samadana. Can you just give a little about these two?
I'm not very.
Samadana, Ghana Patam. South Indian.
See, Patha, like when you go to the Veda, you have first the Samhita Patha. Samhita means like all together. The original verse is called Samhita Patha. Then you have a Pada Patha. Pada Patha means like every word is split into separate words. Like Agni Mile will be Agnim Ile. Okay. So it is separated. Then you have a Krama Patha. So separately you do it in the same Krama, the reading. These 3 are, they belong to the Samhita aspect. Then in addition, this is called Prakriti, actually called the Prakriti. The Pada Patha, Krama Patha and Samhita Patha belong to the Prakriti section. Then you have a Vikruti. Vikruti means the modification, not Prakriti. So there are 8 different Vikrutis. 8 different Vikrutis. The Vikrutis are different patterns. For example, like suppose you have got 8 different words. So you can name them like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So patterns, it can be recited following different patterns. It can be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. This can be one pattern, or it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this, or it can be back 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. So something like that, different patterns. So 8 different pathas, vikrutis, ashtavikruti. Jata patha, krama patha. Jata patha is something like, like the braid you put in the hair. So one word, second word, and in the center word. So like this is called jata patha. So jata, that's also a pattern. Yeah. So jata patha, ghana patha, ratha patha, okay, ratha patha, dhvaja patha. So like this you have got ratha patha, ratha patha. So these are different.
Manipulate Vedas. Other people manipulate it.
Yes, they cannot, because it is already there in the memory and then it is preserved in that manner. So ghana patha is the most complex pattern. Yes, it is the most complex pattern. Is the better. This is for the memorization purpose. Yes, vikruti. So vikruti means like it is not following the samhita krama. So different kramas you can put it in reverse manner, different patterns you can chant it.
But how to remember so much?
I mean, I think once you are into the system, it becomes easy for you.
Actually, I have recorded in Ujjain, Rudram, the Rudram mantra from Ujjain. I know some place I go because I read. Then I also recorded in our Jambukeshwara temple in Tiruchi, and there they say Rudram will be like this, and that will be like a musical note. In the normal Samadanam they were singing.
Even like apart from these different ashtavikrutis, so you have got bala, tibala, various ways of reciting it. Like suppose it is tat savitur varenyam or bhur bhuvah swah. So yeah, there is another pattern also. They will split every character, the bha, u, ra, va, a. So it becomes bhur bhuvah swaha. So each character, consonant and vowel, they will be separately chanted. So left to right and then right to left. So that's also, there is a bala tibala patha. There's a separate tradition which does it. Okay. So it's a immense tradition. So
like people like me who don't know how to sing even online. So krama patha, just read that.
In the krama.
You guided me.
Okay, so yeah, it was nice to have you all, and we'll think of different programs. So what can be done? What is the next step? Is now you start reading. First is the book, The Mother. You read it again in the light of what we discussed, very slowly and contemplated manner. Then a lot of things will get revealed. Veda will become very easy with the book, The Mother. That's one thing. The second thing is, like, if you go to our Veda website, theveda.org.in, so or you go to vmlt.in, so there you can search for the Veda website. There is or if you want to have, we have put there a glossary, concordance and symbolism. So Vedic symbolism, as it was explained by MP Panditji. So most of the key words of the Veda are well explained in the light of Sri Aurobindo, in the light of how Kapali Shastriji has written the Siddhanjana Bhashya, Siddhanjana commentary. Again, that commentary was translated into English by MP Panditji. So that symbolism aspect you can read, or A.B. Puraniji had done a glossary of the words. That entire glossary is available on the website. So, Vande Mataram Library Trust. So you can see, you can read you can pick up a single, like every day you can make a practice of learning a new word of the Veda. So pick up a word, pick up a symbol, symbolic, what does Aditi mean? Read what MP Panditji has written about it, or pick up a single word. So that's how you can start, like every day you have to do something with the Veda. So a new word, new symbol. So slowly over a period of time, like 30 days mean 30 important words of the Veda you know. If you make it a practice of that. So that's how one of my friends here, he learned French by learning one sentence a day. So every day he will repeat the same sentence in French language. So within 1 year, he could master French by learning one sentence a day. He was not in a hurry to learn many sentences. One sentence. That same sentence whole day you will keep repeating. And next day, new sentence with the previous sentence. So that's how he learned the French language. So the same, I said, yeah, this is the determination that we have to have. Then it becomes easy. Yeah. So yeah, like we do it like as we have learned from Sri Aurobindo. There is a beautiful chapter in the synthesis of yoga called the 4 aids, where he speaks of the Shastra, he speaks of Guru, he speaks of Utsaha, and he speaks of Kala. The Shastra is to be known. The Shastra is the record of the realizations of all those who aspired and then followed the path and then became realized. So the record of that is the Shastra. That is the outer Shastra. Then there is an inner Shastra, because if that knowledge is not there within, however great the outer instrument may be, it can never manifest if it is not there within. That's why the perfection within has to be manifest. That's the purpose of life, purpose of yoga, purpose of education. It's there within. So Sri Aurobindo directs us towards discovering that inner Shastra. The same way, but at the same time, one cannot reject the outer Shastra. He said, Sri Aurobindo has said the Shastra is within, what is the use of reading all these things? No. That will help discovering the inner Shastra. The same way the inner Guru has to be discovered. But the outer Guru can facilitate help to a level. So, but one has to find the Guru from within. Then Utsaha. Utsaha means the necessary, sincere effort. Intense, sincere effort which is necessary to discover that Shastra and the Guru within. That's Utsaha. Utsaha is not mere enthusiasm. Okay. Utsaha, like your ability to bear and tolerate and endure has to be high up. Okay. So that's how you put a very hard, sincere effort. Yes. And then Kala. Kala plays a major role. So the Kala will take care of if the Utsaha is proper. In the course of time, things will mature, things will ripe. But one should not leave it to the Kala without doing the necessary sadhana. That way nothing, one can say, Sri Aurobindo has said, Kala will take care. So Kala will take care. Don't worry. So, yeah, the Kala will take care then. So, these are the four things he speaks of. Then this same parameter, again you will find in Patanjali, where he says, Agama Kala, Swadhyaya Kala, Pravachana Kala, and Vyavahara Kala. The 4 phases of learning. Vyavahara. So the 4 phases or stages of learning. The first stage is Agama. Agama means like learning. Like you attend workshop, read books, take notes. Through various sources you are gathering knowledge. Agama. Preparing the database.
then however great your learning may be from various sources, if it is not linked with the inner self, if it is not evaluated, seen, reflected upon, meditated upon in the light of the self, then it doesn't hold value. So that is what is called Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya is not just get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and then pick up a book and then read it. No. Swadhyaya is in a meditative state, what has been learned has to be reflected upon. Or if a book has to be read, so for example, like I have read already Synthesis of Yoga, but in my Swadhyaya, I have to read the same chapter but in a very deeper way in relation to the inner self. Like what impact it has, how can I go deep, what it does to my consciousness. A Swadhyaya. Then once we have the Swadhyaya, slowly we will start experiencing and discovering, exploring new realms of the knowledge, new meanings of the word. So we will have experience. And that experience, the very nature of the experience that we have, or the deeper feeling we have, is to get expressed. So pravachan is not just to stand in front of a group of people holding the microphone and then give a lecture or do a satsang. That's what is known as pravachan. But real pravachan is, like, it is not necessary to do a satsang or give a lecture, but pravachan is the expression. And that expression, the medium of expression can be different from different people. If someone is an artist, so he will express, or he or she will express the inner experience after doing Swadhyaya through the art form. Someone is a poet, someone is a sculptor, someone is an architect, someone is something. So whatever best medium instrument is available for the person conducive to one's own Swabhava and Swadharma, so one gives expression to that inner experience without allowing the mind to interfere too much, maintaining the purity. That is true pravachan. Okay. Then whatever is learned, contemplated upon, given expression to, have to be translated into our character. So in our outer life, that has to find expressed. That is the Vyavahara Kala. But I speak very nice things, but in real life I am something else. My character doesn't reflect that. Then it's of no use. No use in the sense like the Vidya is not complete, you can say. So Patanjali says, Chaturbhischa prakari Vidya samupayukta bhavati. So Vidya becomes samupayukta, useful in these 4 stages. Then you have Sri Harsha, he provides another 4 parameters. He says Adhiti, Bodha, Acharana, Pracharana. Adhiti, again like Agama, like Adhyeta, one is a learner, the learning phase. Bodha, mere learning will not happen, the Bodha has to be there, the Bodhi has to be awakened. So proper understanding of that has to be there. Then Acharana, it has to be translated into one's own Acharana. One has to, be that. And then Pracharana is giving expression to that. So then you have another parameter where it says that 1/4 of the knowledge is learnt in the classroom, the pure learning, like we learn from each other. Padam sa brahmacharibhya acharyat padam adatte. So 1/4 is learnt from the acharya, from the teacher, from the mentor, facilitator. It's just 25%. So what is to be done? So the question which comes like, what do we do next? So what is the way? The mentor, facilitator is 25% responsible for in the whole process of learning. Then padam sa brahmacharibhya, from the peers, peer learning, another 25%. Then padam shishya swamedhaya, swamedha, swayam prajna. If these 2 are missing, then the learning has no point. One has to have the swamedha. Swamedha. Swamedha, swayam prajna. If the swayam prajna is not there, one's own, Viveka Buddhi, one's own intelligence is not there, then it cannot be translated properly. So that's how, because of the lack of Swayam Prajna, just the Shastric bookish knowledge, so two stupid people, they went to one person's house, so that person served Uttapam to them, or set dosha, you can say, set dosa. So they found they had never eaten this. They said, like, what is this kind of food? And there is so many chidras here, like holes in the set dosa you find. He said, let's say, what is the Shastra saying? So they opened the Shastra and then looking for, then suddenly someone said, hey, here, see what is written. It says that chidresu anartha bahuli bhavanti. So more the chidras, more anartha, more problem. Okay. So this is a dangerous food. This is a dangerous food, we should avoid it. Because the Shastra says, chidresu anartha bahuli bhavanti. So because of the lack of Swayam Prajna and because of too much clinging to the Shastric knowledge, the bookish knowledge, so they couldn't enjoy the food. Or someone, first time, they went to another house, they served them the Chinese noodles. They had never seen that. They said, what are these long thread-like thing? Open the Shastra and then see. He said, my God, this is more dangerous. It is saying, Shastra is saying, Dirgha Sutri Vinashyati. So, Dirgha Sutrata is, the dilatoriness, you delay the work. That is what a Dirgha Sutri. Okay, tomorrow I will do it. Procrastination. Procrastination is Dirgha Sutrita. So, they took the literal meaning of Dirgha Sutra and they said, Dirgha Sutri Vinashyati. So what is there? It is not possible. So that's how they didn't enjoy the food and spent the whole night without food. That's what Shastra Jnanam without Swayam Prajna can do. This much. Okay. So Padam Shishya Swamedha. Padam Kalena Gamyate. Again Kala. So the rest, the last quarter, the Kala will take care. So in the course of time, one will start gaining experience. So these are the different parameters which are placed before us by the Rishi tradition, and it's up to us to follow. So that's what I would say, like a concluding remark, and then we can sing Punardarshanaya. Yeah.
I thank all the participants. Thank you very much. It was quite active participation. It is really a pleasure indeed to have you with us. Before we conclude, I have to thank two people. One is sitting there, Sri Aurobindo, who has arranged for this Sri Aurobindo's portrait and this flower vase and all that. Sri Aurobindo's pleasure is always increases the collective vibration level, consciousness level. So we are grateful to you. 3-4 days time we have done it. Another is a young lady, Mishra, who has designed and printed the poster and also has actively participated. For future programs, Mother willing, we will discuss with Dr. Sampadananda Mishra and organize. I am fascinated by the Balakanda of Valmiki Ramayana. And I have an imagination, if this is done by Sampathji, it's a fascinating duel between Vishwamitra and Vashishta. It is fascinating. Maybe it will be 3 days. It will take 3 days. Fascinating. The duel between Vishwamitra and Vashishta. How about that?
Whatever
We'll
is
discuss.
Whatever whatever comes is welcome.
Valmiki Ramayana Balakan. Next.
Noodles are sent to us.
What?
Noodles are sent to us.
All welcome.
What about the Veda class also, if practically or online, this from tomorrow onwards you will be appearing when I am studying. I don't know, I hope I won't write WhatsApps and mails so that I won't disturb him.
Okay.
Then we will start that.
Okay, so we conclude.
Many are
Thank you.
interested online, I think.
Prabodha, we want to thank you for a very good food here.
Not just food.
Really lovely food. It kept us, energetic and absolutely good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So we do Punardarshanaya and remain silent and invoke the presence of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother to guide us further. Punardarshanaya, Punarharshanaya, Punarmatradevya, Kripavarshanaaya, Punardarshanaya, Punarharshanaya, Punarmatradevya, Kripavarshanaaya, Punardarshanaya, Punardarshanaya, Punardarshanaya.